17-10. You notice the physicality of Clyde, but also talking about Licking Valley and the way they played in the playoffs, multiple styles they've had to go against and succeeded against.
We've seen Licking Valley a bunch just on our broadcast throughout the first 14 weeks of the season. Super athletic. They can pound the football. Mitchell Ford, first-team All-Ohio running back. They can also go through the air. Solid defense, tackle in space well. But, Matt, this is the first time seeing Clyde in person. Man, big team. Big boys.
You're going to be physical for sure. And we've seen the majority of these games, no turnovers defense, control the ball. I mean, and that's the recipe. And you look at Clyde out there, and they may have the physical size match up. We'll see how it ends up on the field.
Gunnar Golden, the Clyde running back, 5 touchdowns. Quick key from each of you.
I mean, I think for me right now, it's don't let the moment and the pressure get too big for Licking Valley. I know you want to win one for Randy, right? And he's been here 3 times, come up short the previous 2. That's got to be the goal. But don't let that get too big. Don't let the moment really outweigh that.
And we finally may have our team of destiny, the A seed, find a way to win.
Clyde's going to receive. Tim Bray, Ryan Kavanaugh, Ashley Collins have the action in the Division IV OHSAA State Championship from just outside the Hall of Fame. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you at halftime, everyone.
This is an exclusive presentation of Spectrum News 1.
The Clyde Fliers have now made 7 straight playoff appearances, but are seeking their first championship since 1995. To get that title, they'll need to get past the Licking Valley Panthers, who tasted the finals twice since 2000, but have yet to bring the gold trophy home. It's the Clyde Fliers and the Licking Valley Panthers in the Division IV final. Next on Spectrum News 1. We welcome you into Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton for the Division IV State Championship game. It's the Clyde Fliers against the undefeated Panthers of Licking Valley. Clyde hasn't been here since the 90s. Licking Valley lost in the semis a year ago. And we welcome you to the booth and say good afternoon to you. Tim Bray with Ryan Kavanaugh. Ashley Collins, the 3rd member of our group, and we'll hear from her in just a little bit. And Ryan, boy, these two teams are living the dream. Don't burst the bubble, huh?
Yeah, that's the plan. One of these teams is going to walk away with the state championship. Licking Valley, nobody expected them to be here. And the Cinderella story of the finals, Clyde, the 8 seed, they have a chance to win it as well.
All right, let's take a look at the bracket and show you how they got here. Clyde, that 8 seed, pulled the biggest upset in the playoffs, knocking out defending champion Wyoming. Licking Valley last week came from 14 down to beat Poland Seminary by a point. So both teams have got a little magic. Clyde comes in 10-4, unranked. Their 4 losses, all the playoff teams in the SBC. Flyers had to win in week 10, or they don't get here.
Yeah, and they lost 3 of their 4 games going into the playoffs, but they're battle tested, and that strength of schedule has helped them throughout the playoffs. They're physical, they're disciplined, and they play assignment football. They're very difficult to stop.
Licking Valley put together an undefeated season. They've had to rally to keep it that way, including last week. A year ago, they were in the Final Four only to be outscored by Girard.
Well, if you made a team poster for Licking Valley and you put the superstar on there, it'd be the team photo. There's no guy that leads this team, but what they are is extremely fast defensively. They get to the football, and they've got a lot of weapons on the outside offensively.
Both of these teams well coached, fundamentally sound, and our stars to watch reflect that. For Clyde, it's quarterback Ryan Lozier. For Licking Valley, it's defensive lineman Dylan Dotson.
Oh, I love Dylan Dotson. And this is Licking Valley. He's 5'7", 180. He has 7 sacks and 15 tackles for loss. He's an incredible wrestler, and you're going to see that tonight. He gets in offensive backfields and causes problems. Ryan Lozier's a guy who's going to try and stay away from Dylan Dotson. He should go over 2,000 yards passing. He's also a threat to run the football, and he has complete understanding of this offense. He can check the plays whenever he wants.
And the lefty is a baseball player as well. A state championship on the line in Division IV. Both schools have brought their hometown communities to Canton. We'll kick it off right after the break.
Welcome to Green & Sons. We're the Green. And we've got something to show you.
Kubota BXB and L Series. Over 100 in stock and ready for you. Hey, old dinosaur.
We've been in business for over 50 years, but that doesn't make me a dinosaur. Come to Green & Sons and check out our dynamite deals.
The greatest selection of zero-turn mowers in Central Ohio and ready for your yard. Fast and friendly service and prehistoric pricing only at Green & Sons.
Where are we as Americans in 2019? How divided are we? I wanted to frankly ask what's going on in this country. What are people's concerns? What are people's fears? What are people's hopes? There's a lot of complex issues that are tying us all up. But what I'm hoping for is that we pose some of the questions and get people thinking about other points of view.
The OHSAA State Football Championships on Spectrum News 1 are brought to you by Elk & Elk. Every client, every day.
Welcome back to Canton and Hall of Fame Stadium as we get you set for the Clyde Fliers and the Licking Valley Panthers as these two teams battle for the Division IV Championship. As you look at the Clyde Fliers coming through the tunnel, they will be in blue and gold this afternoon, the white tops as you see them, and now the Licking Valley Panthers in blue and red. And they are the team that's undefeated, and they needed a 2-point conversion in the state semifinals to get to this point as they were trailing by 2 touchdowns, but they come back in the fourth quarter last week to win. So they have been living on the edge of being 14-0, Ryan.
Well, and Coach Boffman, with about 2 minutes to go, they scored, and he went for 2. And it's rare, and I asked him before the game today, I said, Coach, when did you decide to do that? He goes, right when it happened. He goes, and I'm known as ultra-conservative, so everybody was surprised.
Tonight's key to the game are brought to you by Ogle Bay Festival of Lights, nominated by USA Today as one of North America's outstanding light displays.
Clyde wants to stay balanced offensively and put pressure on Logan Bragg, because if he gets time to throw, he can really hurt you. And for Licking Valley, establish the run. They got away from it pretty quickly. So get Mitchell Ford the football and get those ground yards working, and then fly to the football defensively. That's what brought them here, is that aggressiveness and team speed.
One of the things that I've seen watching some of the video of these two teams is that both Clyde and Licking Valley start up front. Both of these teams have excellent offensive lines, defensive lines. These guys really play well in the trenches. So this is going to be interesting to see this matchup, especially early. I think it's going to be quite a chess match in the first quarter.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think there's going to be a feeling out process, and they're going to, go to the ground in the air and see what works right away.
All right, let's go and meet our third member of our team today. Here's Ashley Collins.
Thanks, guys. When Coach Carter spoke about his opponent today, he said Licking Valley is so impressive across the board. They have talent at every single level, so moving the ball against them is really going to be a tough task, and knows they have their work cut out for them. Now, Coach Boffman said he brought in some of the alumni here this week, because this week is definitely far from normal. Wanted to try and not have that shock value when they stepped out here today. He said obviously easier said than done.
All right, thank you very much, Ashley. We'll look forward to talking to you throughout the game. Coach Boffman been around for such a long time. It's the only coach that anybody's ever heard of in Licking Valley.
They don't know any different, right?
That is for sure. The stick web right in the middle of your screen. That is Clyde, as the coin toss occurred just a little bit ago, and it was the Licking Valley Panthers winning the coin toss, deferring to the second half. And so Clyde will get the football first in this football game this afternoon. So looking forward to this one, especially, these two teams. It's just pure football. It's just amazing at the Division IV level. I mean, Greenslade will more than likely be the guy that will be kicking off here this afternoon. And Nick Webb is one of the fine athletes of this Clyde team. He plays both sides of the ball. He's always in on the plays. And we are set for football. The Division IV State Championship game about to kick off at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium here in Canton. And here we go. It will come down to the left side. And that is Webb. Taking it back to the 40-yard line before he is dropped. And actually, Licking Valley made the tackle right about the 42-yard line on William Lozer. And so here is Ryan Lozer, the senior 5'10", 189-pounder, completing 64% of his throws and thrown for almost 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns. He's a dual threat because he can rush the football as well. Good return out to the 42-yard line. And that's where Clyde will put it in play 1st and 10. A 4-man line to start for Licking Valley, and they'll go right up the middle. And the first man through breaks 2 tackles, and that is Gunnar Golden. So Golden takes it for a 1st down, and tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Elk & Elk. Every client, every day, as you see the offensive line of the Flyers, led by Hank Webb in the middle. Backs and receivers. Golden might carry the ball 30 times if they allow him to this afternoon.
5'11", 195-pound senior Gunnar Golden. He's built for a heavy workload. 251 attempts, carries coming into the season, into this game rather.
So they look to the sideline. Play clock running down, and they'll give it to Golden again. And he bounces off a couple of Panthers down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 6. Starters on the defensive side of the ball, brought to you by Elk & Elk. There's Dylan Dotson. I still can't get over it. 180 pounds, the defensive tackle, 3 linebackers. And there's your backs in the backfield. Hayden Heil right there at free safety. And he'll be in on a lot of tackles this afternoon. From the 36-yard line. 2nd down play, they'll give it to Webb. And he is dropped, and there is Dylan Dotson right there to make the hit.
And he gets him with the double leg. He's an excellent wrestler. And as we watch this replay, you're going to see Dotson split the double team. Take a look at him getting right in through the gap. And then he comes down the line, and his Webb's there, and watch him finish it. With the double leg, picks him up and puts him down. My guy, Dylan Dotson, making an impact early.
3rd down from the 36-yard line of the Panthers. Opening drive of the football game. And they will go to the fullback, and he will get absolutely nothing. And it was Dotson again who made the stop on the play.
Watch, they run a stunt here, so Dotson's going to circle around right into the hole, and there he is, getting underneath Golden. Buxton in as well, but Dylan Dotson, 2 consecutive tackles on Golden.
So it's 4th down, and it appears that Clyde will go for it. Ryan Carter, the head coach, is giving him the green light. 4th down, first big play of the football game. And Webb will go back in, and he'll be the Wildcat quarterback. They move Lozer out, and they give it to, and Webb just takes it himself. And I'll tell you what, if Golden is blocking, I'm going to be able to make a 1st down.
Wow, that guy. Xavier Felwell, the cornerback, comes up and makes the hit. They needed. Look at the block on the edge. That's a great job by Golden, and just enough for the 1st down.
So they've done this quite a bit this year, moving Webb in and let Lozier out on the edge. And they will flip-flop again as Webb is taking the snap, and he will take the direct snap. And this time the Panthers allow just a handful. Dotson in on the stop. And the amazing thing for this guy, and he is an all-Ohio performer, special mention, he came into today's game with 68 total tackles.
Yeah, it's the ability to get into the defensive backfield, the 15 tackles for loss, and that, I mean, he already has added to that total today. but he's so quick, he gets underneath bigger linemen. And it's the leverage and the low center of gravity, the center of balance that you get from the wrestling mats that has transferred over to the defensive line in the football field for Dotson.
And first mistake of the ball game.
We're going to get Jace Pennycuff, the left tackle.
Dead ball. False start offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That is our referee this afternoon, Derek Kruger. So it'll be the first penalty of the football game. There's Ryan Carter, 7th year. He also coached basketball at Clyde when he first came back from Ball State.
Both these coaches were just excellent this week, gracious with their time, and so proud of their players. This guy in particular, Ryan Lozier, was the coach between both Gunnar Golden and Lozier and Coach Carter. Special bond with those young men and their coach.
Berger in motion, and he'll set up on the wide side of the field, and they'll go opposite way. And there's the first carry of the football game. Ball's loose, and will it be? Yes, it will. It'll be a fumble recovery. It'll be a fumble and recovered by Sam McConnell of Licking Valley. That ball was just popped out right there.
Wow, and nobody hit the football. It just kind of sprung out of his hand, and McConnell is there. Look at the red hats getting to the football. Big play early. And Licking Valley is going to take over. But these linebackers, Connor Buxton, Devin McConnell, and Noah Hopkins are very fast.
So first look at this Licking Valley Panther team, and there is Mitchell Ford. Logan Bragg is your quarterback. There's his numbers, 6'1", 190, 1,750 yards. Both of these quarterbacks, 60-plus completion percentage. That's amazing.
It really is. And go ahead, I'm sorry.
26-5, too.
And they run the ball. Mitchell Ford, that was his 293rd carry of the season, but ball's down.
Did you get it? Did Clyde pounce on it? Yes. Oh my, that is Remington Norman, the third-team All-Ohioan who pounced right on the football. Licking Valley just gives it right back.
Well, the ball never got back to quarterback Logan Bragg. I don't know exactly what happened. If it just came out of the center's hands wrong, that's Brandon Bishop, the center. But Remington Norman, one of the two super sophomores on the defensive line. Look at those numbers. 13.5 sacks, 105 tackles. Another fumble recovery.
And only a sophomore.
Yeah, there's Walker Britt and Remington Norman. Two sophomores start at defensive tackle.
Give it to the first man, and falls out again, and it's now going to be Luke Miller who falls on the ball. What is going on?
That is back-to-back plays with a fumble. And Licking Valley that's 3 fumbles on 4 plays.
Well, that ball was never secured.
No, he didn't have it. And nice job by Luke Miller. Who is it that punches out? Yeah, it's Connor Buxton, the middle linebacker. Nice work by number 1. Look at Buxton. The ball's out. Miller falls on it. And we've got to, maybe someone should inspect these footballs.
I told you it was going to be a game in the trenches. And this is held on to, finally, by Mitchell Ford.
Finally.
Yes. My goodness, we've had quite a series. And here's your offense for Licking Valley. The offensive start is presented by Elkin Elk. Cody Creech, one of the wide receivers, had a big game last week. Had the game winner. So Bragg, your quarterback, out of the gun. First pass, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, he was looking for Creech. They had trips to the top and a slant on the backside to Creech. He couldn't hang on.
All right, defensive line. And your starters presented by Elkin Elk. Here's your linebackers. Dylan Overmeyer in the middle of those linebackers. And we've talked about Nick Webb already, free safety. He's a talent. Third down. This has got a basketball pace to it. All kinds of time until right now. pitch. And just like that, it's Jack Morrison, the defensive end.
6'4", 220, Bragg never sees him because the pressure was coming from his right side. So look, he bails left and right into Jack Morrison. Good-looking player there is Jack Morrison, one of the defensive ends.
6.5 sacks coming in. Give him one more. So here's Mitchell Ford to kick it away from his own end zone. No score here in the first, and he had to just adjust on the fly because that ball was going to be knocked right out of the end zone. Oh, so 5:51 to go here in the first. It has been quite a start in this Division IV championship game. No score.
This is the Jones family.
We have a good deal on our wireless plan.
Are you sure? Spectrum Mobile can do better. How many lines do you have?
4.
And how much data do you use?
Graham and I email and text, but these two share and stream tons of videos.
And how much are you paying per month? Don't forget those added taxes and fees and surcharges.
Oh, then $220.
Spectrum Mobile lets you customize your plans. You and Grandma can be in our Buy the Gig plan with shareable data, and your wife and daughter can be in our unlimited data plan. All for $118 per month with no taxes and fees. Spectrum Mobile has the best data plans for your family. All plans include unlimited talk and text with no contracts. See? I proved you could save within minutes. Now it's your turn. Grab your bill and see how much you can save. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/YouSave to calculate your savings in 3 easy steps. Or call us at 1-833-295-7283 and we'll do it for you.
Glad you've joined us for the Division IV championship game here in Canton. Let's take a look at that punt and the adjustment by Mitchell Ford.
Yeah, well, you're going to see Mason Dick come off from the end, and Mitchell Ford he pump faked him. You said this is like a basketball game.
I'll tell you what, it felt like the pace of a basketball game with just steal after steal after steal. It was fumbles, but you could make that analogy.
Yeah, oh no, sure. A lot of transition.
A lot of transition, and what's crazy, nobody scored.
Yeah, right. Nobody's. And there's Mitchell Ford. You know, he's listed as 5'10" and 200 pounds, and I've stood next to him, and I'm over 6 foot, and he's taller than me. He's a big running back.
So Clyde gets the ball on their own 48-yard line, 1st and 10. And they're going to try and throw it near sideline, and they do complete it, and that is Adam Koviak. And Koviak gets the ball inside their 40-yard line, onside the Panther 40, and going to be 2nd down and less than a yard.
Well, I was interested to see when Coach Ryan Carter and Clyde would go to the air. The defensive backs for Licking Valley are giving a lot of cushion to the receivers on the outside.
Loser is 62% throwing the football. Move the tight end over on the left side, and whoa, shooting a gap. And that is Connor Buxton. Buxton's a middle linebacker, and he came right through the A-gap.
Pause it. Hey, take a look here at Buxton, and he shoots the gap right away. Look at him getting through. He anticipated it, and he was moving towards the line of scrimmage prior to the snap. Timed it up perfectly, and that's how you get numbers like that.
3rd down, and again, about a yard.
Clyde being very patient, not in a hurry to get up and run, get the snap off. Almost routinely have been snapping the ball with less than 10 on the play clock.
7 on the play clock now. And here's Loser, and he's got the 1st down. And it's a rugby scrum, and they push him all the way down inside the 30.
Wow. Connor Buxton, the middle linebacker, had a shot at Loser in the backfield, but unable to bring him down. Watch number 1. Again, squirts through the guard center of the left side and unable to bring him down. And then, as you pointed out, the rugby scrum is on. A mass of red and white jerseys slowly moving towards the goal line.
That was William Loser, who held on for dear life. 1st down from the 29. They'll hand it to Webb. Cuts inside. And he'll be dropped at about the 25-yard line. Good run. 4 yards. He'll take it every time.
That time, look, they run a stunt, and you can't see it here, but the right side tackle on the play side here was Dylan Dotson, who dives in on him, and he's looping around. They're running a stunt where the tackle next to him will crash down. It's Dylan Camp right now, 54, and Dotson will loop around him. That time they guess wrong, and they loop away from where Clyde ran the football.
Second down and 5. And here is the big fella, Gunnar Golden. I wonder if he was named like Boomer Esiason named his son Gunnar.
Yeah.
About that same era?
Yeah.
Gunner's a little older, Esiason.
Yeah, but, when you're born and your name is Gunnar Golden, you don't have a choice. You have to play football.
Yes, exactly right. Third down and maybe 2 here as the clock runs to 2:46.
Keep an eye on the middle here. Here's Dylan Dotson, number 26, and let's see what sort of penetration he can get. Also, the linebackers behind her. They've been bringing pressure. Here they go.
Out of the gun, and Loser is going to be stretching for the first down to the 16-yard line.
Devin McConnell makes the tackle, but Clyde, right now, everything's working. They're using Gunnar Golden as a lead blocker and allowing Loser to run right behind him.
Well, this drive, that offensive line of Clyde has really established the line of scrimmage. First down.
Actually, look at the middle. Look at the middle of the formation here. There's nobody covering the guards or the centers. And we'll see what the linebackers come up and fill those holes, and they don't.
Look out. It's caught out of bounds, short of the first down, and that is Carson Riemann. Riemann is a 6'4" senior and the leading receiver on this football team. First catch.
Real talented guy is Carson Riemann.
Just short of the first down yard to gain, which was the 6. It's at the 7. 7 plays on this drive, starting at their 47-yard line. There they go, and it's going to be short of the goal line as Golden takes it down to the 1. He scored 5 touchdowns, every single touchdown last week against Wyoming.
Look at Gunnar Golden. Head of steam.
Here's again a touchdown for Loser. Ryan Loser gets into the end zone off right tackle, and it's the first score of the ball game from the 1-yard line. It's the 11th time that he has hit pay dirt, and he almost didn't get the football.
Yeah, well, they don't go under center. The majority of the time they're in the shotgun, so when you come under center, you're not used to it. And bobbled the football. That was almost tragedy for Clyde offense after that long drive, but that was a workman-like drive, primarily on the ground. They did complete 2 passes, but the majority of the work has been on the ground. You see the ball pop up, and Lozier get behind his guys. Easy push into the end zone. Clyde strikes first.
Good effort right there by that young man to balance things out as you've got 9 plays and 47 yards. It took 4:14 off the clock, and so important to manage the clock today, especially when a team like Licking Valley would like to do the same thing. Both teams have the same mentality.
Yes, and now it's Licking Valley's turn to respond and see how they do it. They do have the ability to pass the football, but they've been trying to get Mitchell Ford going early.
Guzman Moreno to kick it away. Right in the middle, and they will kick it on the ground. Hit a Licking Valley Panther, and they wanted to just bounce that football, and they did not get the ball past the front line. The road to Canton is brought to you by Grand Prix Karting, where speed and adventure meets family fun. Visit gpkcolumbus.com. Keystone, #1 seed, as Clyde took them out 28-20. Then Shelbyville and OG And then in the state semifinal, 35-14 over the number 1 team in the state, Wyoming. And here's a reverse coming to the near sideline. And that is a good run by Hayden Heil all the way up into Clyde territory at about 48. Let's go down to the sideline. Here's Ashley.
Thanks, guys. Of course, Clyde taking the lead. We know they've had a lot of adversity this season, a huge driving factor in their losses this year. It's how you respond to that adversity. Coach said you roll up your sleeves, you get back to work, and just have to keep going. We saw some adversity early on here, but they're able to come out and take the lead in this one, guys.
Well, thank you, Ashley, and they keep swinging. That's their motto. And this was a good throw by Ricky Collins, who set up this short side drive and short side run.
And to give it to Mitchell Ford, they get right back on the ball after the completion to Ricky Collins.
Oh, they have got the pace going on this particular drive. And it is a whistle and a flag, and motion is the call. They were just a little too quick on that.
They're working out of the Wildcat with Mitchell Ford.
Dead ball. False start offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
How important was the fact that the ball hit the Panther on the front line, and that created excellent field position?
Yeah, they took over. We're at the 40-yard line approximately.
Yeah.
But I like what Licking Valley is doing. Coach Boffman and his offensive crew, they're being more versatile offensively. So they're running to the outside with Heil. They're mixing in the pass. They're showing some Wildcat look with Mitchell Ford, and now Logan Bragg back in at quarterback.
And Bragg, the lefty, will overthrow his intended receiver, Carson Conley. He was double covered.
Jack Morrison putting some pressure on. Again, big number 8 for Clyde defensively, coming off the edge. I like what I see in Logan Bragg. He's a cool customer, Tim. And, Coach Boffman spoke to that. He said that this is his first year starting. However, he's been in big-time pressure situations because he's a pitcher for baseball at a very high level. So the moment's not too big for Logan Bragg.
Third team All-Ohio, and he's got a third down play coming here. And they'll run the bubble screen, and it's going nowhere. 44-yard line, and that is it. Siobhan Bolger was the guy that had the initial hit on this.
Yeah, he just doesn't get the block from Bodie Creech on the outside.
And so with the quarter coming to an end, Clyde takes the 7-0 lead after one.
Security or a workers' compensation claim from a work-related injury. Call the Social Security, Disability, or Workers' Compensation Lawyers at Elk & Elk. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries.
Chris Spielman here for Volunteer Energy. Anytime you can save a little money, it's a good thing. That's why my natural gas supplier is Volunteer Energy. Volunteer Energy is still my choice for natural gas, but now they're my electricity choice too. And when you join our team, hey, the only change you'll see is the low rates supplied by Volunteer Energy. So tackle rising gas and electricity costs by going to volunteerenergy.com and get on our team. Volunteer Energy, my choice for natural gas and electricity.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-867-0280.
Whoa, that's your name. That's your new business. Things just got real. And to make sure you have real success, you need a reliable network. You need Spectrum Business. With over 99.9% reliability and the best value, it's the network that helps you connect all of your new devices, be more productive, and get your business noticed. Because when you have a great network, you can build something that you're proud to put your name on. Spectrum Business. We keep small business running.
Both teams a little jittery to start this football game as we start the second quarter. Tim Bray, Ryan Cavanaugh with you. It's 7-0 Clyde over Licking Valley as it will be 4th down from the 35-yard line to start the quarter. I think both teams were anxious. I think they were a little nervous starting this football game. Both teams, neither team thought they were going to be here.
I've got a point on that with after this play from conversation with Coach Baughman before. 4th and 10.
Long way to go. And they got the football to the right guy, and a big-time hit, but it is a completion, and the Licking Valley Panthers will move the football. Brody Creech again. Bodie with a big play.
Beautiful pass right over the head of linebacker Dylan Overmeyer. And Bodie Creech goes up and gets it. He had a big game last week, and he's continuing. One thing Licking Valley does is spread the ball around. I believe 7 different receivers have caught a pass, receiving touchdown this year. Not caught a pass, touchdowns.
And they go inside, and they try to run the football, and not much running room at all for Mitchell Ford. Go back to that point with Coach Bob.
Yeah, so before the game, he said that Coach Hinton from Amanda Clear Creek taught him that the players should get out there early in their street clothes and play catch. And that brings the moment down. They get familiar with the field. Then they go in, and then they come out for their normal routine. But that opportunity, he said today, they got here a little late, and they weren't able to do that.
Mitchell Ford is behind the quarterback rag, and he will get the football, and there's not a lot of running room in there at all, but enough. It's Derek Coleman making the tackle on the play for Clyde.
Yeah, and one correction. They didn't get here late. It was the ceremony from the trophy from the earlier game that ran over, so they didn't get a chance to familiarize themselves with the field. Derek Coleman.
Yeah.
Makes me think of the Syracuse basketball player.
Yeah, that's right.
Every time I see Derek Coleman make a play.
Football and baseball for Bragg. 3rd down. They've converted on 4th already. Going to throw for it. Oh, what a great throw. And an excellent catch. Nothing wrong with that at all. And that is Carson Conley, who will move the chains.
Look at these ball fakes. One thing, I had the Licking Valley game against Poland last year. Go ahead, you can play it. Nice job as he hits the receiver going in motion.
And there's a touchdown by Mitchell Ford off the right side. And they came right to the line of scrimmage and snapped.
Mitchell Ford, the Wildcat, he gets outside. Everything is working, just like everything was working for Clyde. Licking Valley responds. Take a look at the hole, the blocking on the edge, and you get a lead block as well. But Jeremy Brevard, the only returning starter of this front 5, is the right tackle, and he's the one that set the edge and allowed Ford to get outside.
Everybody loves him because he's first-team All-Ohio at right tackle. So here's Pennington for the extra point, and it's low, but it goes through. 10 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in this second quarter, and we're tied at 7 apiece. Let's take a look at it here as it's a Wildcat direct snap to Mitchell Ford.
Well, it's a Wildcat, but they have the quarterback, Logan Bragg, as the lead blocker. All hands on deck when you get to the state championship, Tim, but, you know, usually you bring in a fullback. If you're going to put a running back, you don't just switch them and have the quarterback block. But Logan Bragg, 6'1", 190 pounds, and obviously not concerned with sticking his head in there as he paves the way for his running back, Mitchell Ford.
Well, Ford last week had a big day. He also threw a touchdown pass last week. He's first-team All-Ohio, too. So you got a first-team All-Ohio running back following a first-team All-Ohio tackle.
Yeah, pretty
That's
good.
a pretty good combination, huh?
Mitchell Ford, he caught the 2-point conversion that put them ahead, and it was a tremendous catch. It was actually a defender in between him and the football, and he reached around, hugging the defender, caught the ball, fell to the ground, and hung on. Tremendous play.
End over end at the 18-yard line. Trying to take it to the outside. Nick Webb is wrapped up at about the 34-yard line. To the sideline. Ashley?
Thanks, guys. Now, we know what a big moment it is for the players of Licking Valley, but they said it's definitely for their coach. Now, the hashtag #RingForRandy has been spreading around social media and signed in their school, which read, "Make history for Baughman." 38 years of coaching for him. He doesn't know the exact number of how many he's coached or father-son duos, but this year alone, there are 12 sons of former players.
Wow. And he's a Hall of Famer Back in 2007, he went into the Coaches Hall of Fame. So from the 35, this is where Clyde will take it 1st and 10. And Gunnar Golden off the right side. And there's our guy again, Dylan Dotson, making the stop.
That's 3 tackles for Dotson early in this one. You know, I talked to Coach Boffman on the field before the game, Tim, and I said, look, this is your 3rd time. What would it mean for you to get the win? He said, look, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to win a state championship. It's what every coach dreams of, but I want it for the kids too.
Loser brings him up, 2nd down and 5, and a flag. Another motion penalty coming up. Take it back, 5 yards.
Dead ball, offense, number 23, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Really balanced football team, Clyde. 338 yards is their average total offense. 198 on the ground, 140 through the air.
Got a slot, the tight end to the right, 2 backs with the quarterback in the middle. See if they run down to this near side here.
Webb went in motion. They will keep it, and Loser gets a little bit of room. Uses the umpire as a blocker and rolls all the way to the 45-yard line.
Take a look at the route he takes. This is definitely not the way Google Maps would send you unless there was a terrific amount of construction, but it works for Ryan Lozier.
All total 14 yards, but it's a 1st down.
Well, he ran about 30.
That's right.
It was just back and forth zigzagging. And as you appropriately pointed out, he even used the umpire as a blocker.
My goodness. Buxton's right on the line as the linebacker. He's going to take 1 step towards the line of scrimmage. And Gunnar Golden did not get much at all. And last week against Wyoming, he had 27 carries and 143 yards.
Look at Mason Stevens, number 30. Playing down the line of scrimmage, keeping his shoulders square. And coming in and closing down on Gunnar Golden. How many last week? How many yards?
270. Oh, 143.
143. Yeah, they put him to work, don't they?
Oh, he had 27 carries. 2nd down.
He's up to 9 already here. 9 carries, 41 yards for Gunnar Golden.
Loser trying to get outside and does. 1 man to beat, and he will get the 1st down, but that is it. Luke Hampton might have saved a touchdown.
Watch the cutback by Lozier. Over pursuit, and there's that cutback. You see everybody going the other way. Beautiful tackle by Luke Hampton. Touchdown saving tackle.
Right at the 35-yard line. That was a gain of 11, so he had a 14-yard run and an 11-yard run on this series. Coming down to the 7:45 mark. All locked up at 7. They're going to run the bubble screen, and it's not going to go anywhere to Carson Raymond.
That was a well-designed play, but Noah Hopkins read it all the way. Look at number 3 coming, and he gets to Riemann almost at the same time as the football. And, of course, Mason Stevens, number 30, defensive end, comes to help out. Noah Hopkins, team leader in tackles, 98.5 coming into this afternoon's contest.
Trips to the far side on 2nd down and 11. Webb in the backfield. That's Gunnar Golden in the backfield. Lozier to throw. Has time, and it's out of bounds. Incomplete across the way. They tried to hit Riemann again.
Well, Riemann went for it. Look at this effort by Carson Riemann. Pretty good pass with Noah Hopkins bearing down on him, and just outside. He had to elevate to go get it. Feet just left the ground, but what an effort by Carson Riemann.
He would have gotten 1 foot in. He would have had a 1st down and made it a little easier on the Clyde Fliers. They'll flip the receivers on this play. Boviak comes to the near sideline, and Riemann goes wide side.
That's the matchup at the top of the screen.
Got to get it off. And they were anxious all the way around. I think the linemen saw,
timeout.
and they did get a timeout.
First timeout of the half.
I think. Well, Ryan Carter saw it too, and he takes the timeout. So we'll take it with him from Canton. Tie ball game in the second quarter.
A family-owned company, Header Heating and Cooling is the industry's only two-time winner of the George Award for Ethics. They've been earning the trust of homeowners in Northwest Columbus for over 50 years, making each customer feel like they are part of the family. When your furnace needs to be serviced, call Header Heating and Cooling and have the peace of mind that the job is done right. With every installation, every service run, and every phone call, Header Heating and Cooling is committed to your satisfaction.
So this is Ziva, and she goes everywhere with me. Like her, I have this innate sense of curiosity. I really like meeting new people. I love to explore, and right now I'm trying to travel to every national park across the country. Every morning, that same curiosity is what drives me as a journalist. News 1, I'm Sophia Constantine. It really fuels the type of stories that we do. It defines us as Ohioans, and it's why I'm so excited to call this place home.
Clyde Fliers have been running the football with authority here in the first half, and a lot of it Gunnar Golden. But the offense centers around Ryan Lozer, and he gets a little help there, but he is an athlete. He will run it, he will throw it, and he's in command of this offense of the Flyers.
I'm very impressed with Lozier, what he's been able to do thus far this morning, afternoon. When is it? It's all running together for me.
Play action. Nobody open. Directed traffic. Oh, and he found a receiver after a bit, but it took a little bit to figure out who to throw the football to, and Jack Morrison, who plays both ways.
Yeah, big tight end.
Man, did he extend that play.
He sure did. Bought some time with his feet. You know, it doesn't look like Lozier is the fastest guy out there, but he does some sneaky things to create more time. Fourth down territory here to go for it.
Play selection in this one. 19 runs and 5 throws. Both teams have been in no man's land a bunch of times in this football game, so that means that they've been going for it a lot.
Keep an eye on the bottom of the screen here. That's number 30, Mason Stevens. He's got 12 sacks.
Here's Webb trying to get to the outside. He's got the 25, and let's see where they mark it. He will have a first down at the 21-yard line, a gain of 8.
Beautiful block on the edge by Adam Koviak and Carson Riemann. Look at these wide receivers blocking here. Right there and right there. Beautiful job by Riemann.
Right back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers in the package, and the tight end Morrison is on the right-hand side, and they'll run that direction, although Lozer gets back to the middle, down to the 16-yard line. So a gain of 5, he got half of it.
Yeah, Mason Stevens undercuts him, but when you get, you're staying ahead of the change. Look at the cutback again. Lozer's done a great job with this, and that left side of the line just collapsing down. That's Jace Pennycuff, Trent Cook, center Hank Webb. Beautiful job blocking by those guys on the left.
Ryan Carter was really impressed with his tackles and how quickly they got involved, and because they're brand new. These are the 2 guys that never played them and started the position. Here is a Wildcat handoff to Nick Webb. He came into this game with 113 carries and 38 receptions.
He's kind of the Swiss Army knife of the Clyde Fliers. Does a little bit of everything, returns, starts on the defense as well. Very versatile.
He's in the backfield now as they have dual backs on this 3rd down and 2. And let's see. We got a timeout. It's going to be called by the Panthers.
Before the play, timeout. Licking Valley, their first of the half.
Well, that was a good decision by Coach Boffman because nobody was over the center, and Ryan Lozer was past the first down marker with the football in his hands when the referees blew the whistle.
Let's take a look at how Licking Valley made it here to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the state finals. Take out Marion Franklin, a very good quarterback there. John Glenn, Bloom Carroll, 22-6. And then the big comeback. There's 8 minutes to go. They're down 14. And the Panthers not only post the game-winning touchdown, and they go for the 2 that essentially was the whole game.
Right.
With about 2.5 to play?
2.5 minutes. And they were able to shut down Poland. And I think I saw Poland head coach Ryan Williams down on the field, I think, in one of our camera shots. But in any event, what a great program he has. Here, look at this. Here's the Hall of Famer himself. Coached his first game when Ronald Reagan was the president. And for all you high schoolers watching this at home, go ahead and Google him.
Yes.
Right?
And the fact that the stadium is named after him. I think that is so cool.
It is. I wonder how far they are in the process of building the statue of Randy Bloffman to go in front of his stadium.
State title would take care of that, I think.
There you go.
3rd down. Call it 2. And they will try the outside, and it is going to be a 1st down, I think, for Nick Webb and the Flyers. Although they put his knee down at, I think, the 12-yard line, so that's going to be a short.
You know, the benefit of having an official in the booth with you, we've got Mike Dane here, and he immediately put his fist up saying it's 4th down. They're marking him short. Big play here.
Loser has got Golden and Webb behind him.
And look at how many people are in the box defensively. Everybody's coming up.
Gonna hand it to the big fella, and Gunnar Golden has got your 1st down for the Flyers. 1st and 10 on that 4th down play. What's that? Twice in this series. They have gone for it on 4th down. Webb first with the big catch, and now Golden with a 3-yard run.
And those were 3 hard-fought yards. Look at Gunnar Golden, a battering ram of a fullback.
Yeah, he's pushing 200, right under 200 pounds, and he is a beast.
3 for 3 on 4th down this afternoon is Clyde.
So 1st and goal. Loser not going to find much running room inside. Well, championship weekend wraps up when Kirkland takes on Ironton in the Division V finale. That's at 8 o'clock tonight. Coverage begins with the OHSAA Championship pregame live at 7:45 right here on Spectrum News 1, your television home for high school sports. 2nd and goal. Trips to the far side, the wide side of the field. This is a 12-play drive. They're going to throw it that way. Here's Webb. Webb's trying to get to the edge, and Heil with a great speed, and what an angle. Rolls him out of bounds.
Look at Hayden Heil. He's number 10, and he read this all the way. Look at the closing speed as he forces Webb out. Beautiful effort by the defense.
At the 8-yard line, Heil directing traffic. He's the quarterback of the defense. 6 foot, 155, and a senior. First team all LCL. 8 seconds on the play clock. Still looking to the sideline.
They're not going to get a playoff.
2 seconds. They're going to have to call timeout. And they did.
There's only under 2 minutes now left in the half.
Timeout. Clyde. Their 2nd time out of the half.
So they got 1 left. Got 1 left. So it'll continue to be a 1st and goal. Coming up at the half, Neil Sika and Brett Hildebrand and Matt Durazio break down the first half. Plus the latest news and weather with Spectrum News 1, Chuck Ringwald and Ashley Beatty. And we'll visit with Tim Street, Senior Director of Communications with the OHSAA. I told him, I said, I might sneak a question in or 2. Oh, goodness. Good to have Tim. Boy, he does a heck of a job. He gives us so much information.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. You can never be over-prepared, but he sure tries, doesn't he?
He does. Makes our job so much easier. So we're 7-7. Key point of this first half, 1:58 to play. Third down, goal from the left hash, spot the 8-yard line.
And if they don't get it here, Victor Guzman Moreno, 5 of 5 on field goals, 57 of 58 on extra points. He doesn't even know what a miss looks like.
He kicked one earlier today. Kicked an extra point. So Webb in the backfield. Twins to the near side. They go 2 tights this time. Empty. Haven't seen this yet. Loser cuts inside, gets half of it. Maybe a little more than half, down to about the 2.
And here's decision time. Victor Guzman Moreno does not come in, but 44 Gunnar Golden does.
Last week he had 5 scores. There was a great opportunity to get it down there close. So they'll go split backs and look to the sideline with the clock running at 1:25. Tie ball game, 7 apiece. Clyde with a golden opportunity to take the lead.
And they're going to have to take another timeout.
Yep.
Well, I guess they don't have to. They chose to.
Well, and I think, to be honest,
The third and final timeout of the half.
it's important to get it right.
Yep.
And so this is a good time to take that time out if you're unsure in a little bit. So they're going to talk about it. Ryan Carter played defensive end for Ball State, and he also has a pretty good knowledge of the basketball world. Here's the last play.
And Dodson was asking for a hold.
Pretty close to that end zone, but not enough.
And here's Coach Carter talking with his troops before the biggest play of the half.
So the most losses for a state championship was 5 with St. X back in 2016. But look at the other schools with 4 losses, and Clyde is chasing that record. This goes all the way back to 1972. Never in Division IV.
It's pretty good company there that they be in with there.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are some good programs they just put up on that screen.
All right, 4th down. Ball at the 2, and they're going to go for it. 1:11 left in the first half, and here is Golden, and he is in. Gunnar Golden stretches for the touchdown. Went off the right side, and he has a nose for the end zone.
Second effort gets it done for Gunnar Golden. The big man was not going to be denied. Went over the backs of the right side of that line. Ben Sievers, Frank Foltz, the right tackle and right guard. Take a look. And he gets stopped. There he's hit, he's stopped, and he twists and turns, fights his way into the end zone. Looks like Matthew Labuda had him around the legs.
There is Guzman Moreno for the extra point, the soccer-style kicker. High snap, but it is true. Extra point good, and Clyde has taken a 14-7 lead in the Division IV state championship game. Gunnar Golden with his 26th touchdown of the season. Wow, what a drive, 16 plays.
Take a look. Oh, it wasn't Labuda, it was Luke Murphy who had him in the backfield. Watch number 7, he's got him right here. And then it's just a terrific extra effort by the big man, Gunnar Golden, to get into the end zone.
He's got a lot of power in that upper body. And then he was able to twist his shoulders to get into the end zone. That, to me, was a great athletic play.
And Coach Carter talked about Golden this week. And he said that he really worked in the offseason. They wanted to improve his blocking, and he did that. He said he's deceptively fast, good vision for a downhill kid. But more importantly than that, he spoke to how good of a human being Gunnar Golden was.
11 carries, 45 yards, and the touchdown, and it will hit the pylon, and that is going to be a touchback.
Well, that could have gone one way or the other. If that would have gone out of bounds, they would have got it to 35. Since it hits the pylon, they get it to 20. Look at this. And I would like to know if he was aiming for it. Maybe Ashley can ask Guzman Moreno at the half.
Let me tell you, that doesn't happen very often at all. I mean, that might be the first time I've ever seen that.
I thought you were going to say it doesn't happen nearly enough. We love watching the pylon.
And use an analogy of bowling. He picked up the spin.
Oh, boy. Now, if you would have got the one after it, both pylons, that'd be something. Now, Logan Bragg, and they've got a lot of weapons here. I think they're going to get after it. They got 1:07 to work.
The handoff. Mitchell Ford getting nothing. Maybe a yard, possibly two. Coleman there to make the initial hit with Overmyer. Linebackers doing their job.
Coach Bachman seems content to just run this first half out. They do get the ball to start the second half.
So Logan Bragg in the pistol this time. Second down and 9 from the 21. And they'll give it to Ford again. Dragging a couple tacklers out to the 26-yard line. Dylan Overmyer jumped on top and brought him down.
5 yards to the 26, third down 4.
Number 1 tackler on this Clyde Flyer team.
We've got 13 seconds left. Let's see if they elect to run another play. I say just throw it up to Hayden Heil. Let's take a shot at it, huh?
Why not?
Yeah.
Third down, and that'll do it. First half is in the books. Clyde with a score with 67 seconds left to play in that first half, capping a 16-play, 65-yard drive and scoring on fourth down. They go ahead and take a 14-7 lead here. A pretty entertaining first half. Once both teams settled down a little bit, then it was smash 'em out football. So both of these schools walk to the locker rooms, and we'll make some adjustments at halftime. But they're both second half teams. Let's go to the sideline. Here's Ashley with the coach.
Thanks, guys. Coach, first off, just got to ask about that crazy sequence of fumbles in the first. Think it was just jitters or what was going on?
Well, both teams, back and forth there. I don't know. You put them in a state championship game and they're high school kids, and you're talking about 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. It's tough. So I think it was a little bit of jitters, probably some good hits and some good defense, but we'll take the first half. We got to play a whole second one. It's a very good football team over there.
Yeah, you take the lead into the half, which is a good thing. Try to carry some momentum. I heard some of the coaches just saying, though, going into the locker room, don't be happy with that. What do you need to continue to do?
Well, we got to get a little bit better. We got to get a little bit more lined up a little bit quicker. They're hitting us with some pace, and it's hurting us a little bit. But overall, please, we got to make some adjustments. Come on, play a better second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
All right. The head coach, Ryan Carter of the Clyde Fliers, who have a 7-point lead as we hit the break in the Division IV Championship game.
One are a victim of a surgical or anesthesia mistake, brain injury or paralysis, birth injury, late diagnosis or cerebral palsy, or wrongful death. Elk and Elk's medical team uncovers medical mistakes. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
A world of Christmas wonder awaits at Ogilvy in Wheeling, West Virginia. Experience the magic of the season.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, then you owe it to yourself to call this number. Let our experts help guide you through the process of negotiating a tax settlement. Call this number or go to tax10000.com.
This is the Jones family.
We have a good deal on our wireless plan.
Are you sure? Spectrum Mobile can do better. How many lines do you have?
4.
And how much data do you use?
Grandma and I email and text, but these two share and stream tons of videos.
And how much are you paying per month? Don't forget those added taxes and fees and surcharges.
Oh, then $220.
Spectrum Mobile lets you customize your plans. You and Grandma can be in our Buy the Gig plan with shareable data, and your wife and daughter can be in our unlimited data plan. Offer $118 per month with no taxes and fees. Spectrum Mobile has the best data plans for your family. All plans include unlimited talk and text with no contracts. See? I proved you could save within minutes. Now it's your turn. Grab your bill and see how much you can save. Visit spectrummobile.com/usave to calculate your savings in 3 easy steps. Or call us at 1-833-295-7283 and we'll do it for you.
Championship halftime in Division IV. Ryan Lozier, the quarterback, lugs his way into the end zone for the first of the 2 Flyers scores as they lead at the half. The 8 seed up on 14-0, Licking Valley. Neil Sika, Brett Hiltbrand, Matt DeRazio at the break in this Division IV title tilt. You could have set the course of some of these drives to Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly. Ball control and possession, although a little bit jittery, with a sequence of fumbles, 3 in 4 plays early in that first half.
A little bit jittery, and you maybe expect this at times in a big game like this, but as everything settled down and Clyde kind of got things under control, and to me, outside of this series of fumbles, Clyde has really controlled the football game. They're up by 7 on the scoreboard. They've doubled Licking Valley in time of possession. They've also got more turnovers. They've run 33 plays. Licking Valley's only run 17 plays in the first half. Not many opportunities for them. Clyde's doing exactly what they did against Wyoming last week to win the ball game, and so it's working exactly how they want for one half of football.
Drive over 4 minutes and one that's just under 9 minutes. That last one, 16 plays.
Yeah, they have a decided size advantage over Licking Valley, and I think they're using that as a way of controlling this game on the offensive side. Those sustained drives are just simply because they're not necessarily having huge chunk plays, but they're having all positive plays. Nothing behind the line of scrimmage, nothing negative, and that's because they're getting a huge push up front. Gunnar Golden, man, that dude is a load to bring down. He's bigger than all of the Licking Valley linebackers, no question.
That's a Mitchell Ford touchdown that tied it at 7. It was a 10-play, 62-yard drive by Licking Valley. And then Clyde, this was only 65 yards, but 16 plays. A chunk here, a chunk there. Lozier runs. Gunnar Golden runs. He's going to get the touchdown on 4th down. If Licking Valley is going to come and win this game, it's the execution with the opportunities they get.
The defensive line for Licking Valley has got to find a way to stand some guys up, and I think they need to contain Lozier. I think actually he's been the difference maker for Clyde, because it's his ability at that next level. You know, Gunnar Golden's going to be kind of your thunder. He's the lightning right now for this Flyers team.
Yeah, Clyde right now feeling good. They're doing exactly what they want to do. They have one more half of football to do it.
8 seed. Magic. And another Flyer team. Could they be victorious? Division IV, they lead 14-7. News and weather coming up next. Halftime activities continue on Spectrum News 1.
It's halftime between Clyde and Licking Valley in the Division IV State Football Championships. We'll get you back to Canton in just a few minutes, but first, here's a look at some of the stories making headlines this morning. In the fight to get drug makers and pharmacies to pay up to hold them financially responsible for their part in the opioid crisis, there is an in-state battle on how to use the money. Now, the Ohio Attorney General is proposing putting the settlement money in a fund, meaning the state would decide where and how to use the money instead of the individual counties or municipalities that were specifically part of the lawsuit. Over on the West Coast, Pacific Gas and Electric is being forced into bankruptcy. The company agreed to pay $13.5 billion in a settlement to victims of wildfires on Friday. The company is being criticized for the role its equipment played in the fires. The settlement will resolve all claims arising from the 2017 Northern California wildfires and 2018 Camp Fire, as well as claims from blazes in 2015 and 2016. It's time now to get a look at our forecast with meteorologist Ashley Beatty.
After a beautiful sunny afternoon, it does start to get pretty chilly later on this evening. Those clear skies during the day typically help to warm things up. Not so much for this afternoon, but into the evening, they certainly will result in some rapidly dropping temperatures. Gets pretty cool tonight, so make sure you're layered up with minimal cloud cover in the forecast for the Canton area. We'll see those readings coming down to around the freezing mark already by your 7 o'clock hour, and then continuing to drop. And by tomorrow, we're going to be waking up to those readings in the 20s. I do have some rain chances returning to the forecast early in the week, but for today as well as tomorrow, things are staying dry.
Now it's time to send it back out to Canton for the second half between Clyde and Licking Valley in Division IV State Football Championship.
Hi, this is Bill Green from Green & Sons.
Hey, I'm Dick Green. We're not as old as these dinosaurs, but we've been serving the area's needs for over 50 years in the machinery business.
I'm Peyton Green, and we've got some dynamite deals for you.
Whatever your needs, small or large, we've got it here at Green & Sons.
Got a few dinosaurs around?
Change them into this.
Wide selection of Kubota, Exmark, and Husqvarna. I'm sure we have the right piece of equipment for you.
A family-owned company, Header Heating and Cooling, is the industry's only two-time winner of the Torch Award for Ethics. They've been earning the trust of homeowners in Northwest Columbus for over 50 years, making each customer feel like they are part of the family. When your furnace needs to be serviced, call Header Heating and Cooling and have the peace of mind that the job is done right. With every installation, every service run, and every phone call, Header Heating and Cooling is committed to your satisfaction.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, then you owe it to yourself to call this number. Let our experts help guide you through the process of negotiating a tax settlement. Call this number or go to tax10000.com.
The popular Roundup weed killer has been linked to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, as evidenced by a recent multi-million-dollar verdict. If you use Roundup and have been diagnosed with cancer, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
Holiday movies are one of the best ways to get in the holiday spirit, and it all starts with Spectrum TV Silver.
How delightful.
Upgrade to Spectrum TV Silver.
Christmas is supposed to be fun. Say Christmas back.
Bring the holidays home with more than 175 channels for even more entertainment.
Merry Christmas.
Hi. So, start celebrating with great holiday programming from Spectrum. Upgrade to Spectrum TV Silver instantly by going to channel 2495 today.
Clyde Fliers lead 14-7 in the Division IV State Championship here at the Hall of Fame in Canton. Fliers looking for that first title since 1995. Neil Sika with the Senior Director of Communications for the OHSAA, Tim Streed. Good to see you.
Neil, good to see you.
It's always a great weekend with every tournament you cover. Of course, football, basketball being up there. Lots of requests to handle, whether it's broadcast, print. How do you keep your cool under pressure like these guys out on the field? And, of course, you got a great staff underneath it, too.
Well, a lot of it depends on that great staff doing their job. But, you know, you're right that the football finals, the basketball, the wrestling state tournament, the track and field, there's so many media folks around Ohio that love covering high school sports, and it makes my job a lot of fun. But the main thing we try to do is to make sure that those media that we know are covering the finals, regardless of the teams, our statewide media, Spectrum, radio network, then we make sure they're taken care of with everything they need before we get to championship week, so that when we get to championship week, we can work with the media that are just covering specific teams. And I love seeing those media folks. They come from all over the state. They're just as excited to be here as the teams are. So it's kind of like a family reunion in some respects.
You have the old school element with the OHSAA radio network, but the social and digital channels more popular than ever, and a great way to access these championship games too.
Absolutely. Our social media is one of the fun things we get to do, and my staff loves doing that. You know, they grew up with that. I did not, so they know that so well, and they do a great job with it. They have a lot of fun with it. At OHSAA Sports, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And it's really kind of an interesting way to see behind the scenes a little bit about what's going on here. Everything from coming out of the locker room. And it's fun interacting with Spectrum, too, the blimp coverage, all that. You
Amazing
know,
last night.
We have been able to interact with that. The folks might not know otherwise. So it's a way to reach that audience. We've this weekend, for the first time, we're doing a couple of Facebook Live shows before our radio network coverage. A lot of fun doing that kind of stuff. I think it's only going to grow.
Memories to be made here in Canton and, of course, across all the state tournament platforms. videos, merchandise. If fans want to follow up, if they want to get a program they weren't able to attend, where can they find that? OHSAA.org? Or?
Absolutely, OHSAA.org. And then once you're on our homepage, there's a link called the Fan Guide. And as you mentioned, Neil, the DVDs of most of our state tournaments, we have basketball DVDs that go back to 1950, before St. John Arena was even built. Some of them don't have sound, but
Jerry Lucas.
Jerry Lucas, absolutely. Well, and it's amazing, too. Every week, Chris Walker and our staff will get a letter and a check for someone that wants one of those old DVDs.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. But also programs. A lot of folks won't buy a program here because of the weather, but they'll want to get one afterwards. And so we have those there. We'll bring back the extras, so we still sell those. Of course, our merchandise with Aries. We have so much great apparel. So OHSA.org, and then click on the Fan Guide, and it's all there.
Tim, great stuff as always.
Thank you, Neil.
Very
Thank
informative.
you very much.
That's Tim Street, OHSAA Senior Director of Communications. Mitchell Ford has Licking Valley's touchdown, but the Panthers have work to do down 7 at the half in Division.
I was going to go to school for nursing when I got in the wreck. I was 18. I didn't think that would ever happen to me.
Accidents happen, good weather or bad. And those insurance companies are still trying to take advantage of the little guy.
If I ever hear of anybody having something wrong, I'll be like, call Knoke.
GBK Indoor Entertainment. Go-kart racing for ages 4 and up with Columbus's fastest indoor racing with speeds up to 35 miles an hour. Experience laser tag on a whole new level with tactical laser warfare missions and over 10,000 square feet of arena space. Test your skills of problem solving and teamwork in one of our 3 next-gen escape rooms. Easy to get to, just 3 exits east of downtown. Book your next adventure at gbkcolumbus.com.
Chris Spielman here for Volunteer Energy. Anytime you can save a little money, it's a good thing. That's why my natural gas supplier is Volunteer Energy. Volunteer Energy is still my choice for natural gas, but now they're my electricity choice too. And when you join our team, hey, the only change you'll see is the low rates supplied by Volunteer Energy. So tackle rising gas and electricity costs by going to volunteerenergy.com and get on our team. Volunteer Energy, my choice for natural gas and electricity.
I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. But luckily, I found Nugenix.
Nugenix is a unique man-boosting formula that helps increase your free testosterone levels. To get a complimentary bottle, text RANK to 369369.
About 2 years ago, I took a break from TV news, and it changed my life. Prior to that time, I've always been a good father, but I rarely got the chance to be a good dad. It gave me a chance to think about the things that not only matter to me, but to everybody. It also gave me a better perspective on news. I spent a number of years in Cleveland and Cincinnati, and it's given me an opportunity to see every corner of the state. I want to empower our communities and redefine what a news channel can be.
Welcome back to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Clyde Fliers up 14-7 at the half. And it was just about everything we expected it to be. Let's take a look at the first half highlights and figure out how we got here. And first started with Ryan Lozier running the football. This was a story of the first half as he coughs it up. Licking Valley gets it back. And on the second play, quarterback Logan Bragg never gets the football. That's a turnover. And on the very next play, Clyde gives it to Gunnar Golden, and he never really gets the football, and he turns it back over to Licking Valley. We thought we were done. Ryan Lozier almost fumbles, is able to hang on to it and score the first touchdown of the game. Put Clyde up 7-0. And you get the response from Licking Valley. They march down the field. They hit Bodie Creech, the wide receiver, in the soft spot of the defense. That was a big-time third down conversion. And then Mitchell Ford on the ground. 24th touchdown of the season, led by Logan Bragg and Jeremy Braver, the right tackle on that block. And then Clyde gets the ball and goes back to work, does Ryan Lozier. Capped off. Look at the effort here. Look at the effort by Gunnar Golden. He was stopped at around the 2-yard line, able to get the ball up and into the end zone. And you look at the halftime stats.
And I'll tell you what, those halftime stats really are lean towards Clyde, because Clyde with, goodness gracious, 134 yards on the ground, and they had just, they had a total of 33 offensive plays to just 17 for Licking Valley. And I thought Licking Valley did a pretty good job with what they had to work with, but they didn't get it very often.
Right. Well, here's a couple of important points here. Look at the time of possession, 17:48 to 6:12. And how often do you see this, Tim? 4th down conversions. 4 for 4 from Clyde, 1 for 1 Licking Valley, 5 for 5 in the first half on 4th down conversions.
In both of these schools, that gives a lot of credit to those offensive lines, because those offensive lines are just, they're managing the game very well.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job. They're in both pass protection as well as run block, although these are primarily running teams, and they've done a nice job opening up holes on both sides.
Yeah, no question about that. Individually, a couple of numbers for you, and you look at a guy like Ryan Loser, is 9 carries and 72 yards, and leading the way. Mitchell Ford's got 32 yards leading the way for the Licking Valley.
Welcome to Green & Sons.
We're the Green.
And we've got something to show you.
Kubota BXB and L Series, over 100 in stock and ready for you. Hey, old dinosaur.
We've been in business for over 50 years, but that doesn't make me a dinosaur.
Come to Green & Sons and check out our dynamite deals.
The greatest selection of zero-turn mowers in Central Ohio and ready for your yard. Fast and friendly service and prehistoric pricing only at Green & Sons.
Theater has always been something that I enjoyed. Shawnee has offered me a lot of opportunity to be on stage. My professors helped me to pick songs that fit our personality and something that I could find a passion in. All of that builds up over the 4 years that you're here, and I think that's a great benefit. I'm Joy, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Visit discover.shawnee.edu.
Is the place getting bigger? 20 years ago, I would have been there already.
Hello, Buckmans. You know what that is? Picture of your parents bringing you home from the hospital.
You are going to back off and give your daughter a little space.
Oh, she has all the space in the world. She's 5 blocks away.
Guess who's going to be guest speaker in your class tomorrow?
No one can know we're related.
Thank you, honey. Whoa. Okay.
I love her. I really, really do.
I love you, too. Can I ask you a question?
Anything.
It's about Mabel.
Yeah, you're on your own, hotshot.
Oh, come on.
On Spectrum.
Welcome back here to Canton, Ohio, and let's go to the sidelines. There's Ashley.
Thanks, guys. Coach, your motto is keep swinging, of course. You're down by only 7 points. What's going to allow you to bounce back?
Well, we just, defensively, you can tell it's the state championship. Our guys just didn't focus very well. We got to get back to fundamentals on defense, play with better leverage, and get some stops. Offensively, we got to answer because we may not get too many possessions.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much, Ashley. And I thought he had some good thoughts there. I mean, they get back to the fundamentals on the defensive side of the ball is his message. Well, I like that he's worried about what's going on in his locker room, on his sideline. And he's saying, I don't care what they're doing over there. If we do our job, if we play fundamental football, everything will take care of itself. And that's how they got here. I mean, that's what Licking Valley's been doing all season. They're 14-0. They've had a couple of games that have really tested their mettle. So they aren't worried. No. I mean, just getting here last week, they had to score at the end of the ball game and a 2-point conversion just to make it to this championship game. Right. Oh, no, they're ready. And I expect... I always look forward to the second half and the halftime adjustments and see what the coaches are going to do and what they're going to change. But it may just be better at what we do. And that might be it. And because I'm always thinking in my mind,
and I'm sure you are too, trying to stay one step ahead of these coaches. But do you think that it was a focus on Licking Valley and a focus on Clyde in those locker rooms?
Well, I do. I mean, I think that we just heard what Coach Boffman thinks of his own defense, and offensively, you know, that's where more of the adjustments may happen. Clyde's not doing anything Licking Valley wasn't expecting them to do, and vice versa. You know, Licking Valley does have, I would say they have the ability to pass a little more. Last week against Poland, they came out in the second half and they put the ball in Logan Bragg's hands and he started throwing more. We'll see if that's part of the game plan here in the state championship.
Well, we've got 2 quarters left for a state title. Neither one of these teams have won it at any time in the 2000s, as the Clyde Fliers won it back in 1995, and Licking Valley has never won it at all. So, but they have been knocking on the door, and even last year they were in the state Final Four, but ran into a very hot Girard team that put 53 points on.
Yeah, and Coach Ryan Carter was on the 94 team that was a runner-up, and he then went on, as you pointed out earlier, to play football at Ball State, but he was back here, and he came back and watched the 95 team win that championship, so he knows what it looks like, feels like, but he wants it for himself.
Here's our numbers from our stars to watch. Lozier with 32 yards through the air, 72 on the ground, and Dylan Dotson with 3 solo tackles and 4 overall. Licking Valley gets the ball first, and we are underway for the second half, and that one's out of bounds. So a penalty marker.
No pylon there.
So 35-yard line is where it'll be put down, and here are the Panthers.
Ball we placed at the 35-yard.
Third possession, they went 10 plays and 62 yards for their only score of this for the first 2 quarters. So we're all settled in, and the ball's at the 35-yard line and ready to go here for the third quarter.
Licking Valley only had 5 first downs in the first half,
which surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, that means that Clyde's doing their job defensively.
6 in the box, and they will go in around Ohio, and we got a flag in the backfield, and Ohio will get up to about the 40-yard line, but it's coming back.
Yeah, they're going to get Jimmy LaRue for a block in the back. There's 74. We're going to see it just on the edge as we get the call from the official.
So the first play of the second half has a yellow hanky attached to it.
Legal block in the back. Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So they'll move it back 10 yards from the spot. Here's the call. Here's the play again.
You're going to see Derek Coleman right here, and he's going to get hit right there in the back by Jimmy LaRue. Good job by Derek Coleman going up to try and set the edge and shut down Hunter Heil before he can get upfield.
And that offensive line, 2 juniors, 2 seniors, and LaRue, the only underclassmen. So it's first down and 22, and it's picked. Intercepted. Right there on the spot is Siobhan Bulger, and Clyde is in business.
And Bragg throws it right at Bulger. I think he's trying to get the football to Heil, but if he was, it was underthrown. Look at this football. It doesn't have a chance of getting to Heil, and it looked as if Bulger was the intended receiver. He threw it right at him.
Second interception for him this season, and he's like, it was right to me, Coach.
Right at him. Credit him for catching it. Sometimes those are the most difficult interceptions to make.
Ryan Lozier brings it to the line of scrimmage for the Flyers from the 15. Now handed to Golden. Big hit there. Actually, that is not Golden. It's Nick Webb. And you got the first half drive chart. Looks like this. 2 fumbles, and that was when that crazy period of exchange of mistakes. And then they scored twice. So only 4 possessions. And when they settled down, they put it in the end zone.
The only team that stopped Clyde and their offense has been Clyde. And they're on the move again. Big first down run, 9 yards for Nick Webb. Yeah, took a shot at the end of that play. Oh, and he came around the end, and you knew that he had enough to get down close to at least the 4 or 5 yard line. And now Gunnar Golden, and they put lots of bodies on him, and the Panthers bottle him up right at the 5 yard line. Yeah, they virtually at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Now, this is huge for Licking Valley right here, and for that matter, Clyde on the other hand. Yeah, nice play by at the end by Mason Stevens, the defensive end. Look at that tight formation. The splits are foot to foot inside. Loser leaning, needed the 5. I think he got the 5. I think he's going to almost get the 4. Look at him. He's got some nail issues going on. First things first. How are my nails? Look at this push. Gets right behind his center. That's a beautiful job by Hank Webb. No relation to Nick. And there is Golden again, and he's close as he smells the end zone, but it's going to be short by maybe a half a yard. Man. You can see Luke Hampton, it's only a $155, turn his shoulder. Going to give it to him again, and he walks in this time. Touchdown. Gunnar Golden, second score, and Clyde capitalizes on the interception, and they extend their lead. They go over this right side again. There's Fultz, there's Sievers. Jack Morrison's there, as is Caden Berger. They stack it all up, tight end wing, and then they give it to the big guy, Gunnar Golden. And he walks into the end zone. 2-score lead for Clyde. And that's what you have to do when you get turnovers, turn them over into points. Impressive push. And Golden just by himself goes in for the score. That's 2 today and 27 for the season. And not the start that Licking Valley wants. So let's go to the sidelines, and here's Ashley Collins.
Thanks, guys. Now, Coach Boffman had said the concern with Clyde right away, you look at Golden. He is just so powerful. He runs over people. Our guys will just have to get perfect fits, try and surround him and tackle low. Unfortunately, you always have to worry about him no matter what.
He's been impressive, that is for sure, here so far. 14 carries, 49 yards, and those 2 scores. And I think it's a great point by Ashley, and one that, quite frankly, Licking Valley has not done a very good job of accomplishing. They have not been hitting Gunnar Golden low. And with a guy that big, you want to go upstairs, he's going to go right through you. And he's done it time and time again this afternoon, rather. And they will kick it on the ground, and it gets through, and it will go out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And I'm not sure if anybody touched it. Only Spectrum News 1 gives you a look at what matters most across this. I'm sorry. And with that, we want to take time out to tell you about some special programming next week on Spectrum News 1.
We place at the 35-yard line.
Anything could happen at a pro football game.
People got stomped and killed. It just becomes chaotic.
All hell broke loose.
These guys became heroes, instant heroes. They were the toughest, they were the strongest, they were the fastest.
Like a Greek god. When Jack Cusack signed Jim Thorpe to play for the Canton Bulldogs, that was huge.
You don't have a story if you don't have Jim Thorpe.
He was larger than the game.
That was the birth of the National Football League.
Before the League, Wednesday on Spectrum News 1.
That is compelling television, that is for sure. First down and 10 from the 35. Here's Bragg. And he's going to go down back at the 25-yard line. Wrapped up by Jack Morrison, who had a sack in the first half, and here he comes again. Well, it's the initial wave was Remington Norman who flushed him. Jack Morrison comes in. 2 sacks on the afternoon for Jack Morrison. Bragg was looking downfield. He was able to avoid the first wave, which was Remington Norman, but he could not get away from Jack Morrison. Second down and 19, and they will set up the screen this time. And Ford is tripped up, and
and he is dropped by Derek Coleman.
Beautiful play by Coleman. They tried to set up the screen to Mitchell Ford, and Coleman gets there. He gets underneath the lineman, and before Eldon Fife was able to get to Derek Coleman got to Mitchell Ford, shut it down. Licking Valley moving in the wrong direction offensively.
Senior has had a good football game from that linebacker position and has had a great year. So third down and 25 to go. Not what you want. Out of the pistol. And here's Bragg going to throw back to Ford, and it's incomplete. It's a good thing because Ford was not going anywhere because Coleman was spying on him again.
Well, this team is playing so well defensively. Everybody's where they're supposed to be, and they are anticipating the screens. They tried 2 in a row, and both times Derek Coleman's there. And I believe he's covering Mitchell Ford. He may be playing man-to-man on him, and that's why he's consistently around the football as they try to pass it to him.
Low,
kick.
high, and end over end, taking it back to about the 26-yard line. He's got some blockers in front, and a good return by Webb. And so we have reached the 8-10 mark here in the third. Couple touchdown lead for Clyde on the Panthers of Licking Valley.
Years of experience, and because of the actual assembly of talent that we've developed, that combination of people allows us to maximize our experiences for the benefit of our clients.
I'm freaking out. I can't stop thinking about using. There's a voice in my head that says I'm better off dead.
I thought I had it all under control. It's time to get clean or die. Don't suffer alone. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Call 800-437-8017.
Am I fatigued looking?
No.
But if you look really close.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
What is secret for long years marriage?
The great thing about us, never argue, never fight.
Don't come crying to me when the whole thing turns down because
You were right.
Thank you.
However,
OHSAA State Football Championships on Spectrum News 1 are brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries.
Once again, good field position for Ryan Carter's Clyde Fliers, who capitalized on an interception on the last time they had the football, and they have it again at their own 47-yard line. They're going to throw for it. Loser going deep, double covered, and it's caught. It's caught by Koviak at the 12-yard line.
Wow, Hayden Heil was in coverage, and somehow Koviak able to go up and get the football. Take a look at this catch. Lozier just throws it up and gives his receiver a chance. He has to come back for it. Heil's right there, but Adam Koviak hauls it in with the arm of Hayden Heil mixed in there as well. Everything working for Clyde right now.
My goodness, what an effort that time to get not only the ball to him, but the great catch, 31 yards. And here is a running play that's not going anywhere for Nick Webb.
And what, with that pass, Ryan Lozier goes over 2,000 yards passing for the season.
Talk about a dual threat quarterback. Ryan Lozier with over 2,000 yards now passing. He is closing in on 700 yards on the ground. But that's not really important right now. What's important is cashing in. He's 7 out of 8 and 73 yards. He's had a heck of a game. He's got Golden behind him, and he'll get the football. Big hole down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Heil has to make the tackle along with Lozier.
It's a great job up front by the Flyers offensive lineman. Look at the size of the hole. And credit Caden Berger as well, number 23, a wingback. Only has 18 carries on the season, but done a great job blocking.
Those are trying to take it off the right side. He's got the first down. He needed just a yard for the first down. They weren't thinking touchdown on that play. And Noah Hopkins in on the stop.
I can't remember a game where there's been so many of those rugby scrums of people moving and being pushed about.
So it's at the 1.5-yard mark. Look at the total plays. 42 for Clyde and only 21 for Licking Valley. Splitbacks this time from 1.5 yards. Gunnar Golden in for another score. Touchdown, Clyde.
This time over the left side with Chase Pennycuff and Trent Cook. Take a look at the push. You get Nick Webb throwing his body in the air, Caden Berger crashing down. And if it's a one-on-one battle and you need to get a yard, Gunnar Golden's going to get it for you.
Golden has scored the last 3 touchdowns for Clyde. Spot and a perfect kick. So it was from 2 yards, 1 yard, and now 1 yard. And this one's off the left side.
Little adjustment right there. Nick Webb with a nice block on Noah Hopkins. And look at the big man.
Well, it was all set up by that long pass to Koviak of 31 yards. And now with 6 minutes exactly left, it's a 28-7 lead as we go to the sideline in Ashland.
Thanks, guys. Now, quarterback Ryan Loser's dad used to be an assistant. Ryan was the ball boy as a kid. Said he would love to come back to Clyde someday. And Coach, obviously, having a great day here today.
What an impressive play. I think they just locked up the whole town and they just moved it over to Canton because they have a huge contingent here today from Clyde. Not too far away over in Sandusky County. So it's 28-7 with 6 minutes exactly left.
Dylan Dotson on the return.
So guess what? He gets an opportunity to run the football. He's been in the backfield a couple of times this year, but he gets a shot at running the football. But the Flyers have been just harassing Braggs all day.
Yeah, they look at the pressure from Jack Morrison off the edge, and they just haven't been able to figure out a way to move the football, that being Licking Valley. And it's because of the relentless, disciplined defensive pressure from the Clyde Fliers.
They won it in 1995. Boy, it's been a long time. And this group is determined, and they played well. But Licking Valley was down by 2 scores as we got a flag. They were down 2 scores in the fourth quarter last week, came back and won to get to this game, and there's a hold. That's the second time in this third quarter that the first possession, the first play of their possession, has had a penalty and a large one.
Holding, offense number 64, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Look at the center, 64, Brandon Bishop. He's trying to reach zone block. He's trying to reach Walker Britt, number 66. He's unable to get there, and he just grabs him and hauls him to the ground. Easy call for the officials.
Just 56 yards when they're averaging over 350. Down the middle, and they had a shot, but it's incomplete to Heil. But Hayden Heil just could not come up with the football. That was open in the zone.
Well, look at Nick Webb. He's going to take a shot if he were to catch this football, and we'll see if he just can't reach it. Just can't get over in enough time. But that would have been a dangerous situation with Nick Webb bearing down on Hayden Heil.
28-7, 5:38 to play here in the third. And it's second down. 20 for a first. Going to throw near sideline as Kyle has it. And he is breaking a couple of tackles, slippery out to the 38-yard line.
It's a good move by Hayden Heil. He felt the outside pressure from the defense after catching it, and he turns and comes back inside, able to make some yards after catch and make it a third and manageable situation.
Heil came in with 29 catches on the season. It's 3rd and 11, as you said.
See what Clyde decides to do. They got 4 down linemen. They're only bringing 4.
They're going to cover, and it's intercepted again. Intercepted by Koviak, who caught that, or they say it was trapped. That was close.
Yeah, they're bringing it back to line of scrimmage. Adam Koviak, let's take a look at it.
Oh, he dropped it. Yep. Ball hit the turf. He had it there, and I thought he controlled it. But great camera angle there from the end zone.
Look, he's trying to tell him. He's holding it up.
Yes, he is.
He put it up for sale, but nobody was buying it.
It's a holiday season. Ford with a low line drive again. It's going to be picked up at about the 15-yard line. Coming to the near sideline. And not a lot of running room. So Clyde brings it back, and it's Carson Riemann.
Look at this pass. You know, Brad's starting to feel the pressure a little bit, Tim. That ball came out way too early from his hand, and that's what happens to quarterbacks when you are continually pressured. That internal clock in your head starts telling you you need to get rid of the football, and you start feeling it's phantom pressure. It's pressure before it's actually there.
So from the 30-yard line of Clyde, they'll get it again. They have a decisive edge in plays and time of possession. They have got the workhorse, Golden, and the big fullback takes it down to about the 35, gets half of it. Big-time schedule for the Flyers, very demanding. I mean, you've got a playoff team in St. Francis de Sales, and then in their own leagues, Sandusky, Norwalk, and Tiffin, Columbian, and Bellevue.
5 of the 6 teams in that Sandusky County league made the playoffs. 5 of 6. And in fact, Norwalk lost to Sandusky.
It's crazy. It was just such a competitive league. It's Golden again. It's got a first down and more. And that offensive line is just the heart of this Flyer team.
Well, they've played very well. Very well. It's been a domination up front by this offensive line.
Total yards are 248 to 65, and it's 175 yards on the ground so far. Clock running to 3:42. From the 44, it's a first down play. Webb gets it, short side. Got a block, and he's into the second level again. Gain of 12 and a first down.
This offensive line, take a look at this side of the line over here. Look at all these blocks. You're getting red jerseys on the ground, white jerseys on top of them. Look at the left side. There's a double team. You get a kick out by Golden. You got wide receiver Riemann downfield blocking. Everybody's in on the act. And you can keep your backs fresh because they're moving the ball around. They're not relying on one guy.
They're going to run it again, this time off the right side and down to the 38-yard line. Let's go to the sideline. Ashley?
Thanks, guys. We're talking about that offensive line, of course, and Coach Carter said 5 seniors inside, 3 all started last year, end of the season. Are the anchors inside. The 2 tackles are seniors, but they're new. They were behind some good players, but have really been able to take advantage of the opportunities created and really taken that job, and they've had to run with it, and they're obviously doing a very good job.
I'm impressed. I mean, they're all five in unison, and that's what's great about an offensive line that plays together. They just work in unison. Here's Webb cutting in, and he has a first down, and maybe to the 32-yard line. We'll see where the forward progress is, but regardless, it's a first.
Everything is working for the Clyde Fliers in the running attack. And you see Dodson coming down the line. He comes and helps out on the tackle.
They were running right at him, and he was manhandling the line in the first quarter. But here in the third quarter, it has been primarily the offensive line. They've had their number. Done a great job so far. First down. Mark it at the 33, and once again, it's Golden. This drive has been all on the ground.
You see, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just going to I'm marveling at just how well he is playing and hanging onto the football and just driving his legs.
And in on that tackle is Mitchell Ford. These are the adjustments. Licking Valley is looking for something to do to slow these guys down. And number 15 in red, Mitchell Ford, who typically does not play defense, is out there now playing linebacker. There he is.
Second down.
Nice play there defensively.
Oh, he's shooting the gap that time. And a good job by Hopkins. Noah Hopkins, who is the leader of that linebacking core, came in and made that big hit.
Yeah, they've got to start blitzing the run. They have to start making some adjustments and taking some chances and risks. I mean, at this point, you're counting possessions. I don't even know how many they're going to get, but this will be the last play. This next play will most likely be the last play of the third quarter, and they're down 3 scores.
Gonna go with the Wildcat. Nick Webb taking it to the right side, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's 2 in a row for the Panthers. Good job by Dodson to plug the hole, and he was met there by Mason Stevens as well. And that will be the last play of the third quarter, dominated by the Clyde Fliers. They lead it 28-7 after 3.
I discovered Shawnee State University at auditions, and I came and I saw the school. I absolutely fell in love with the school and also with the community of Portsmouth. My first week here, I was going to be working our first show, and that is something that you don't get very much from other schools. I'm Tim, and I invite you to discover Shawnee State University for yourself. Visit discover.shawnee.edu.
The phone company is ripping off business owners every month with hidden fees and sneaky surcharges. See for yourself.
Verizon is taking me for an extra $25 in taxes and fees per line. That's not okay.
AT&T got me with a cost assessment charge.
CenturyLink stuck me with an extra $40 in taxes and fees per line.
Frontier snuck in an extended area service charge. Not cool.
Spectrum Business is different because the price you see is the price you pay. Just $19.99 a month when bundled. Call 844-997-0577. $19.99. That's all you'll pay.
At that price, I could cut my phone bill in half.
Bundle Spectrum Business Voice with 200 meg internet. No added phone taxes, no hidden fees, no contracts. Stop getting ripped off. Call Spectrum Business today. 844-997-0577.
Clyde has scored in every quarter, 14 in the first half, and doubled that number in the third, and lead 28-7 after 3. And they have dominated. They've run like double the number of plays.
Yeah. Let me put this in perspective. Licking Valley they've averaged 8 plays a quarter. They've only run 24 plays through 3 quarters. Hard to win a football game when you're, your offense isn't on the field.
They've not possession of the football, and Clyde has. They're going to throw for it here on 4th down. They got it, and right in the middle is Riemann, and he takes it inside the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
This is a strike by Lozier. Take a look at this. He steps into it. The lefty puts it right up for his tall 6'4" receiver. Pushes the ball all the way down to the 5-yard line. Okay, so here's the deal. Any chance they don't give the ball to Gunnar Golden?
Oh, he's going to... Everybody in the house knows that, right?
They just give it to him 3 times. But they have to wait till the ball's at like the 1 or the 2-yard line. That's where all of his touchdowns have come from.
Yeah, but he's 85 yards on 20 carries through 3 quarters. And this is a 9-play drive. They're going to go inside. And yes, it's Gunnar Golden who takes the ball and inches it even closer to that goal line.
Well, look at this is exactly what Coach Boffman was talking about and Ashley commented on. You cannot hit this bull up top in the shoulder pads. He's going to go right through you. Look at the number of people as Gunnar Golden fights for the end zone. Doesn't get it.
Yeah, they had everybody. And look who just popped off the top of that stack. And it's the guy that you were talking about in the 3rd quarter, Mitchell Ford.
Yeah, Mitchell Ford, usually the running back. He's tough, hard-nosed player. They brought him in on defense. It's all hands on deck at this point.
Well, this is a huge part of this ball game because, Clyde is attempting to go up 3 scores, and that's really difficult, especially when you've only had 24 chances.
Well, they're up 3 scores.
Yeah, right.
Going up 4 is...
and they gave it to him again, and he is close to the goal line, and that is going to be 4th down as Golden did not get in that time.
That's amazing when officials just know. We're up here in the press box. Mike Dane next to me immediately said, it's 4th down. Take a look at this. Oh, he leaves his feet, and Mitchell Ford's there. They're able to bring him down. They shut him down.
Hopkins, too. Linebackers.
Yep. There's Connor Buxton as well. Let's name all the linebackers.
Yes, they're all right there. They're going to walk across and maybe take a time out here.
Oh, the play may be being reviewed.
Timeout, Clyde. They're first of the half.
Well, they took their time as they brought the entire team, all 11 guys, over to the side, and they went ahead and then called the timeout. While the weather in Ohio may be unpredictable, you can always count on weather on the ones. The latest forecast is always less than 10 minutes away. Our accurate and experienced team of meteorologists have the latest forecast, insights, and perspective you can trust every 10 minutes and continuously during severe weather. You can count on weather on the ones only on Spectrum News 1. It's been delightful here in Canton, I'll tell you that for sure. We had a splash of sunshine, morning game, and then the shadows came in around 3 o'clock as we started. It's been perfect football weather.
It sure has. And I know at least the people from Clyde think it's been a perfect football game as well.
I'll see how you can play it any better. They had Wyoming on the ropes last week and beat them. Team that went 41-1 since 2017, the defending state champions, and you're looking at a 4th down and 1 here. And it'll be Lozier, and he will get it for the score. Touchdown. Ryan Lozier for Clyde extends the lead.
I would love to know if that's how that play was designed to go, because Lozier looked as if he was going to belly out. He stopped and decided better of it and just said, dive. Look at this. He said, well, why not? Well, let me just jump over the pile and score my own touchdown. I'll call my own number. And if he did creatively change the play like that, hats off to that young man.
Instinct. And the Point after is good, so 9:28 to go. Ryan Lozier will either play baseball or football, a three-sport athlete, just has a knack for competition, has a knack for success.
Yeah, you know what I think happened? Gunnar Golden had his hands up. He was looking for the football. But what I think happened is that Lozier mishandled the snap a little bit. Didn't think he'd be able to successfully transfer the ball at the mesh point to Golden, so just decided to tuck and dive. He's like, hey, Coach, it's all good. I found a way. Don't worry about it. So I dropped the ball once in a while. I made up for it.
Time of possession
on the drive. Whoa. Touchdowns on the last 5 possessions. That's impressive stuff. This has been one of the more impressive performances of the weekend. The Clyde Fliers.
And they've done it 2 weeks in a row. Wyoming last week. Everybody thought they would be here. Well, Clyde is taken over. Here's Heil with the ball. Heil trying to cut and get to the other side. He's run a lot. He's looking for a block. He's got one. Takes it up to the 40-yard line. And how about that intensity of run? So this young man has had just an absolutely impressive day. Golden has been the story for the Clyde Fliers. His power, his ability to run inside and then turn it on sneaky fast. And he's pushing 100 yards. Here's a flag on the play.
Personal foul, late hit. Kicking team number 49, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So Heil gets a very nice run. Then the penalty on top of it. I believe that's the first penalty of the day on Clyde. So here are the Panthers.
The total plays there.
Ooh. It's been all Clyde. Going to the sidelines and a catch for a little bit to Conley.
You know, we need to mention Dave Marty. That's the defensive coordinator of this Clyde Flyer team. And, you know, we've mentioned 94 runners-up, 95 state champs, and right now what appears to be the 2019 state title. Dave Marty's been there for all 3 of them.
Current 5-game winning streak, too. Trying to throw it in the middle, and they threw it behind the intended receiver, Conley. Bragg had a chance, and you know they lost in the season opener to Sales, and then they came up and won 5 straight, and then lost 3 games all to playoff teams, and then they just took off after that. And Bellevue is their big rival. Week 10. Bragg again. There it's picked. Intercepted in the middle. That's Overmeyer. Overmeyer running it down the sideline. Second of the day for the Flyers. And Dylan Overmeyer dropped in coverage and had himself an interception. So 8:57 left here in the 4th quarter. We're going to step aside after the interception by Overmeyer. Light in business here in Canton.
Everybody at Elk and Elk is trying to help injured people get their lives back on track.
I couldn't ask for a more wonderful team. I had 5 trucks to take care of and a family to take care of. They gave me the ability to start over again.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-867-0280.
Maybe I'll run for president, maybe I won't, but I will tell you that I'm not going to go away.
And I don't think Michigan can become the Michigan of old.
We're probably the first professional sports team in the world that was built by the fans.
We're the biggest ice cream shipper in the nation, setting the standard for American ice cream.
I get to live my dream. I mean, what more could I ask for?
Conversations, Sunday and Tuesday night at 9 on Spectrum News 1, exclusively on Spectrum.
The rights to this broadcast have been granted by the OHSAA. Any rebroadcast or republication of the programming without the written consent of Spectrum News 1 and the OHSAA is strictly prohibited. Boy, the film study by the Clyde Fliers has been impeccable. I mean, they look like they're in the huddle.
Right, it's on everything. On run plays, they're there. On pass plays, they're intercepting passes and undercutting routes like they know exactly what's going on. It's rare that anybody for Licking Valley's been open in the secondary. You know, I talked to Coach Carter before the game down on the field, and just as an off comment, he said, we were talking about the Poland game. Here's Nick Webb. We were talking about the Poland game last week, and he said, you know, I've probably watched that film 10 times. And you know, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, all right, we're exaggerating with each other. And now I've seen it, and I said, no, he's not exaggerating. He probably watched the film 10 times because he knows Licking Valley's offense as well as Licking Valley does.
Oh, they have just been impressive. And, you know, half this game is done in the classroom. And even at this level, there's a lot of film study, and you can see it. Second down play coming up.
When the evolution of huddle has made that so much easier. And they've got
films at every game.
Right.
Yeah. And every player. Golden again. Golden goes off the right side this time, inside the 25-yard line. I'll be sure the first down is coming down to the 8-minute mark.
You know, if Gunnar Golden needed a nickname, I would suggest Uber. He's been giving guys for Licking Valley rides all night. You just jump on board, and the big fella carries him for a couple of yards. Look at him, Gunnar Golden. How about this performance? 24 carries, 98 yards, 3 touchdowns.
He has been the star of the show today. Tight formation here on third down. Lozier going to cut and get the first down. Let's go to the sidelines, and here's Ashley.
Thanks, guys. Clyde made it here as an 8 seed, defeating defending state champion Wyoming, as you mentioned, who many expected to be here. With their senior quarterback, Evan Prater, was named Mr. Football. Prater is the first Mr. Football from the Cincinnati area since 1992. He was 40-2 as a starter during his high school career. Wyoming had a 28-game win streak entering last weekend, but obviously Clyde showing us here today that it was absolutely no fluke.
Evan Prater headed to the University of Cincinnati, and Luke Fickle.
Looks like he's about 6'5".
Yeah, he's a talent. And the first Mr. Football in Cincinnati since Matt Edwards.
Wow.
At Norwood High School. Oh. He wore 44 too.
What Edwards, the running back?
Yeah.
Market. Oh, okay. I was thrown off a little bit. He played for the Browns, Notre Dame.
Yes.
I got you, Tim.
You caught me there.
Together, we're going to get it right.
102 yards. There it is.
I mean, you're the one who knew the answer. I didn't. So.
Yeah. Well, you had the
first.
The Google. You Google in your mind. Second down. Golden again, and this time he gets to about the 15-yard line, and that's about it. But they're just running that clock.
Yeah, and what's different about that play is they had somebody around the legs of Gunnar Golden. I mean, you know, Coach Boffman and his crew, they knew what they needed to do to slow down Golden. They just haven't been able to execute. They haven't been able often enough to get down in the lower half of his body to try and bring him down. And part of that is the way Gunnar Golden runs. He's got a very low pad level. He leads with the shoulder pads. That's when you try to hit him, that's what he's giving you. And then he runs you over.
He wants to coach and work for school. That's the ultimate goal for Golden. And here is Lozier trying to get to the outside, and he'll go down around the 10-yard line.
How smart is Lozier? At tail end of the play, understands that the priority is to run the clock and he slides down before getting out of bounds. And here's the block by Golden. Look at on the edge. Oh, it was just outside the screen, but look at Lozier fighting to stay inbounds. Got twisted up. Look at him grabbing his hip. It looked awkward.
He's going to be okay as he's still out there. Gutty performance by those guys in the backfield.
They're having fun out there.
Yeah,
look into the helmet to see Lozier sharing a laugh with Gunnar Golden.
He's going to get it again, Golden, and he's down to the 5-yard line this time.
Nice tackle by Dylan Dotson.
Haven't called his name as many times as I thought we would.
Well, there's a big offensive line in front of the guy.
Yeah. Comebacks this season. Look at this. The 11th seed entering the last week of the regular season, and they had to beat Bellevue to get in the playoffs. And then they trailed at #1 Keystone, the regional semis. They ended Wyoming's 28-game win streak, and they never trailed the last 2 playoff wins. That is really impressive for this Flyers team.
You're down 14 points twice in the first couple rounds, and you got to decide that. Look at this effort.
And Golden stretches, and they gave it to him. Touchdown. Line judge near side says, yes, you got in.
What a run by Gunnar Golden.
His performance this afternoon is the reason why Clyde has put 41 points on the board, and they have a chance to make it 42.
What an effort. He extends the ball, breaks the plane before his knees hit the ground. How about that vision that Coach Carter was talking about? He said for a downhill runner, he's got excellent vision. We saw him there. Watch, he's designed to go to the right here, Tim. And look at him shift. He identifies the side, runs right over Buxton. And there is a number of jerseys trying to stop Gunnar Golden from doing what he wants to do, and they are unable to. When that guy gets near the end zone, look out.
He has been a machine this season, and just a great effort by him. Look at all of those stickers on his helmet. They symbolize wins and symbolize victories in a lot of ways.
Well, he's a winner. He's got one more big trophy coming his way. But, you know, Gunnar Golden, I talked to Coach Ryan Carter, and he was just going on. You know, there was some football in there, but talking about how good of a person Gunnar Golden was. And then that guy right there, #2, Ryan Lozier. I said, Coach, tell me about Lozier. He said, well, listen, everything I just said about Gunnar Golden applies to Ryan Lozier. You know, they grew up around his kids. They're close with his family. And it's that type of community, that type of program. And I can't say enough good things about what Coach Ryan Carter's doing with the Clyde Fliers.
That is Heil bringing it back, and we got a little skirmish, but 4 minutes to go, and I never thought I'd say this. Running clock.
Yeah.
So Hayden Heil, who brought that ball back to about the 33-yard line, and so we haven't seen a whole lot of the Panthers offense today. It's just because Clyde has been just so dominant. Every possession they've had long drives, and they have taken the ball into the end zone. Six different times. And here's Bragg throwing short, and he completes the pass. And that's Creech. Creech over on the far side, the junior. He'll be back next year. Out to the 40.
Even though it gets out of bounds, the clock continues to run. 30-point advantage in the second half.
And throw it down the middle, and it is dislodged. Heil, the intended receiver. Riemann out there, but he had help.
And there's a big hit by Carson Riemann on Hunter Heil. And Carson Riemann last year had a knee injury, and they weren't sure he was going to be able to play this year.
He's come back very strong.
Yeah, he didn't play last year.
Play action, and Heil's got it all the way down to the 27-yard line.
Beautiful pass by Logan Bragg. Heil gets behind the defense. He's a playmaker.
Well, he just kept driving, and what a great throw.
Yeah, really nice.
And Bragg's at it again. He'll go far sideline, and it's tipped and incomplete.
Let's go back to Carson Raymond for 5. He had 2 brothers who were both first-team All-State. Phenomenal players. Neither of them decided to play in college. They're both at Ohio State, so he's not sure what Carson Raymond's going to do, but all 3 of the boys were 4.0 high ACT type guys. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of programs, Ivy League, Case West, a lot of places that would love to have a guy like Carson Raymond playing on their football team at the next level.
Ball incomplete as we're under 2 minutes with the running clock. It's down to 1 minute and 40. And this Clyde team is coming from an A seed and going to take home a big trophy. Sometimes you just don't know. You get in the playoffs. Seeding really doesn't matter a great deal. You just want to get there. There's a pass over the middle. That is caught down to the 5-yard line. And a little bit more by Creech.
Coach Boffman spoke to that this week. He said, look, seeds don't matter. And Tim, I would say if they matter anywhere, it'd be in Division I.
Right.
But when you get into these, and the reason for that, touchdown.
And the touchdown by Carson Conley as the Panthers take it right down the field. So that touchdown. Well, the officials are huddling afterwards with 55 seconds left to go.
That was a nice pass, nice catch.
Officials are going to tell us what's going on here. Okay.
Illegal participation.
Okay.
Illegal participation, defense, number 60. 15-yard penalty. We're taking on the kickoff. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Okay. I saw the official, the referee, go into and talk to a couple of other of the guys, and the referee made sure that everybody was covered off. Here's Pennington to kick the extra point. Bragg to hold. And that one is good. So Panthers get on the board here in the 4th quarter, which is 55 seconds left. Bragg with the touchdown pass to Conley.
But back to the point about the seeds, Tim, one of the reasons in the lower regions that I think it's not as important is because you can play teams better than you in higher divisions. And that's what they did. You're talking Sandusky, Norwalk, both who are, Division III teams. Whereas in Division I, you're playing the biggest schools, presumably. Not to say that the Division IIs aren't as good as Division I's, but you get my point.
So Clyde is going to join this fantastic group of programs with Minster and Cardinal Mooney and Watterson and Ignatius. They've lost 4 times and won a state championship, and the first team to do it in Division IV, Cincinnati St. Xavier, and went in 5-5 and ran the table back in 2016. So that's impressive. Clyde turned their season around, and they're going to end up with 6 straight wins. Ball is kicked on the ground and picked up and dropped there. And the Clyde Fliers are going to run out this clock, and it's going to be An amazing turnaround and just an unbelievable last 6 weeks. And last 2 weeks, you beat the #1 team in the state, the team that everybody thought would be here, and that's the Wyoming Cowboys. And they handle them just amazingly.
And that's Brian Farr, the assistant coach, actually played high school at Clyde with Coach Carter. They were on the state runner-up team, and now the embrace of these two. Brian told me before the game that he just yesterday found an old picture of them in high school that he sent to Coach Carter, and here they are creating their own memory and their own moment, getting their own state championship, this time as coaches. And that's the type of thing that makes high school football so special, Tim.
It's so pure at this level, and you know, kids go both ways. They play their hearts out. They play multiple positions, and it is just an incredible experience to play with all of your teammates, all your community, and the Clyde Fliers have come to Canton and captured the Division IV State Championship, defeating Licking Valley 42-14. And Ryan Carter, who is on the runner-up team when he played, now gets his championship. An impressive win by the Flyers, their second state title, their first way back in 1995, and they come here to Tom Benson Stadium, and the Hall of Fame is just an immaculate place for the Clyde Fliers.
Well, this guy right here has left in his own personal imprint on this stadium and this championship weekend. That's Gunnar Golden. He was so good from the beginning to the end, and I'm talking specifically about tonight, this afternoon, but Coach Carter will tell you it's been the entire season, beginning to end. Gunnar Golden has been on the front porch of this Clyde Flyer team as a leader on and off the field, and what a afternoon that young man had.
It started last week when they upset the defending state champions, the Wyoming Cowboys, in the semis, and it continued here to this afternoon as the Flyers are state champs.
And that was a complete performance. This defense, the offensive line, and no matter what happens with spread formations and different things going on with football, if you win the defensive battle, if you win at the point of contact, and you win the turnover battle, most likely the scoreboard will also reflect that you're a winner.
Let's go to the fields. Here's Ashley.
You go runner-up in '94. You now get your state title. What does this feel like?
It's pretty unbelievable. You know, to have that feeling in '94. And come up a little bit short as a player, it's a heck of a lot more gratifying for these kids and to coach them. So my emotions aren't really in check right now, but it's a special moment for us.
Obviously, Gunnar Golden with a night here. And when you look at that kid and what he brings to this team, why is he so special?
Well, you know, he's special for a lot of reasons, but this senior class bought in. We were 6-4 in regular season. This senior class bought in, doing everything we asked them to do. And, you know, obviously this is the outcome, and couldn't be more proud of a program.
Last thing, 8th seed coming in, proved a lot of people wrong. What did it show you about your team here tonight?
Well, it shows that our kids have heart. Our last building block this year was legacy. They wanted to set that legacy, and I feel like they did that.
Congrats, Coach. Enjoy. Guys.
An emotional Ryan Carter on the sidelines, and I think it'll all hit him when he has that moment. There is total silence, and it'll all come to be for him that he probably will remember and think, oh my goodness, what have we done? So the runner-up trophy and then the championship trophy will be presented on the field here momentarily.
First of all, nothing brings communities together better than high school football. The experience in this stadium today is tremendous for what we teach young kids in the state of Ohio through football. Please join me as I represent every one of our schools and commend both teams on the field today for a great show, a great effort, and a great season. Panthers, I know there's so much pride in your community. All you have to do is take a look and see who all's here. 3,000 people, you only have 4,000 in your school district. 3,000 watched your pep rally the other day. It's a lot of pride, and it's a lot of pride in that red helmet. And Coach, you've created that pride for 38 years. You graduated one heck of a group last year, and these seniors standing in front of me right now had the leadership ability because of you, your coaches, and your community to bring a team back and get to the state championship game. It's certainly an honor to present you this runner-up trophy for 2019. Congratulations, Panthers and the Licking Valley community.
Pride in the red helmet is the slogan of the Licking Valley. It's not a year's thing, it's the program. It always is their saying is pride in the red helmet.
Yeah, I think Coach made sure that he had that as something that it stretched out over years and over decades. And now, you know, it's so tough for Licking Valley, who had such a great year, but let's go back to the commission.
Hey, we're going to start this out with one big wow. The adversity. A great football coach in Ohio, the great Woody Hayes, said there is nothing great ever accomplished without overcoming adversity. Think of the adversity that you came through this year as a number 8 seed, losing the last, 3 or 4 or something like that of the regular season. That is what high school athletics teaches. Perseverance, getting through adversity, leadership, playing for the love of the game, playing for the love of your community, and playing for the love of the guy beside you. You have accomplished that, and look at the tremendous support you get from Flyer Nation. As I saw on the run-through when you came out, teams to remember play in December. They're going to remember you for a long time. And lastly, before we present you this championship trophy in 19, I do know your community well enough that I know Brad Ferrara will be very happy for what's accomplished today. On behalf of every one of our member schools, our staff and our office and our board of directors, it is an honor to present the Clyde Fliers this championship trophy for 2019.
Some may say it was improbable, but it's reality.
Yeah. What a performance, a championship performance. And remember, in week 10, even with the win from Bellevue, they needed help. They were looking at, I'm sure, Joe Eitel counting computer points. Are we going to get a chance to get into the tournament? And not only did they get in the tournament, they are the last man standing.
Well, here's the thought. When you start back in August and you play your first football game and they fell a little bit short, the thought is you want to play your best football at the end of the season, right? Well, their season ended in the regular season and they got that last win. Then they ran the table in the playoffs, and there's no question they're playing their best football of the season.
If it gets any better, I'd like to see it, because in all phases of the game, this team was dominant. And Licking Valley is a really, really good football team.
Oh, yes.
They're not doing that against anybody. I mean, they didn't let anybody else knock off the #1 team in Wyoming. Clyde took care of that themselves.
And let's not forget, that Licking Valley has lost one football game this season.
Yeah, we just saw it happen
today.
Yeah,
they are 14-1, and I mean, you look at what they've accomplished, and this Clyde team really was something, and I was really impressed from every single one of those players and their entire community. So here tonight, the Clyde Fliers defeat Licking Valley 42-14. Tune in later for the Division V Championship game between Kirtland and Ironton, with coverage beginning at 7:45 right here on Spectrum News 1, your television home for high school sports. For Ryan Cavanaugh, Ashley Collins, great job, and the entire Spectrum News 1 crew, I'm Tim Bray. Good night from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton.